Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tara too. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Wednesday, January 8th, 2025. Well, our president-elect here in the United States has been very busy and making some rather interesting comments about the Panama Canal, about Greenland, about Canada being the 51st state. And I'm wondering, are these soft reveals of something that's coming, or is there something else going on? Now, what may be coming is something that has been talked about in alt media for years, and that is the fact that we are going to be the constitutional Republic of America in the very near future, and that constitutional republic will include a number of places, including Greenland and Canada and some others. And I'm going to take you to my post that I have retweeted on X today and talk about that a little bit. And then we're going to explore this with the tarot cards. So, one second while I take you over to that my X account. And by the way, I am going to have an afterword today. I want to revisit another post that I've reposted that I don't intend to do a standalone video about, but it may, if you consider yourself to be pretty wide awake, it may give you some information and a perspective and maybe something we can practice and see if we can work on. So, not trying to be too obscure there, but I just want to let you know there will be an afterward. Okay, now for the topic at hand. Okay, Q Mum, who I've mentioned before and follow, has this post up that asks about what are the normies going to think about this Gulf of America and other developments, including the discussion about Canada, Greenland, Mexico. And I, excuse me, I really enjoyed reading the replies to this. I would recommend this to you that you go through some of the replies. They were pretty informative. There is one from Turbo Truth, who I'm now following because I liked this comment that said, "We're not buying anything. This is all payment in the form of restitution from the British Crown Corporation. They have illegally stolen quadrillions from us through the Federal Reserve banking. We're taking it back. The crown is gone, is done. The cabal is dead." And then there were other comments talking about the Seven Kingdoms. Okay. There was one that was trying to foster some fear mongering, and and the 10 replies they got shut them down pretty extensively. So if you've been hearing any chatter about how Trump's actually being installed to usher in this, you may want to look at the replies and learn to laugh at those kind of innuendos as I have. Okay, then the W.R. Schrock, QBD, talks about a list of 83 states. I don't know about that. That was the first I've heard about that number 83. I have heard about the kingdoms before. We've heard for many times, including in 17 posts, that this is biblical. This is biblical. So that's all kind of interesting to me. Now, let's ask the universe about it. Okay, I'm not going to parse out whether it is kingdoms or 83 states or what have you, but all of those are going to be under the umbrella, if it comes to pass, of being the Constitutional Republic of America. So let's ask the universe if the Constitutional Republic of America, or the structuring thereof, is something that we can anticipate being part of our lived reality, and in this lifetime, this current lifetime, plus additional insights and information the universe wants us to know. So let's settle this once and for all. But I have to admit, it does make sense to me. I do like the thought that this is restitution, things that have happened that have already come about. I was reading some of the posts by Derek Johnson. He's saying, again, because it's discussed, it's just the reveal stage. It's already happened. And so that's kind of been the consensus in the alt media community. So if you're haven't been around the alt media community for a long time, you might want to be jotting down notes of some of these people I'm mentioning and looking at their perspective on it. Because again, consensus seems to be it's actually happened. They're just bringing it now into the public eye. And we'll find out shortly. I'm going to switch the camera. You can watch me work with the cards. And yes, there will be a yes or no element to this question. Is there truth to the fact that the Constitutional Republic of America is in our near future to be lived openly, publicly, plus additional insights and information the universe might want us to know. Okay, oops. That was several cards, not just one. I'm just making sure I don't put it back in upside down. I have had a little bit of clumsiness with the cards today. They're still trying to inform me, but I'm just need to focus on them, I think, a little more than I usually do. So the Constitutional Republic of America, is this something we are going to be living, openly living and enjoying in the near future, this current lifetime, plus additional insights and information the universe might want us to know? Okay, well, I think we're getting a yes here already with the first card is a Ten of Cups. Then we have the Five of Swords, Four of Swords, indicating we're not going to get 100% of the information that might possibly be available. It's not all ready to be disseminated. Current situation, kind of confirming that. High Priestess. Near future, we have the Four of Pentacles. Then we have the Eight of Cups. And another eight with the Eight of Pentacles. So while we haven't gotten an ace at this point in the read with these seven cards, we've got some information that we're going to look at, and I'll tell you intuitively what I'm getting, and then we're going to get some more cards and see what the universe wants us to know to kind of finish off the topic. So the topic itself was indicated by the Ten of Cups, which is a celebration card. It is, that's why I said we've already got a yes going on, maybe not what I call a hard yes, but we've got one from the universe. And the development is one that is going to be good for humanity for all generations. And I like that. Now, in the short term, right now, it's a temporary situation. We are in the reveal process. We're in the process of some people leaving the public stage at this point, and the stage is being set again to go from soft reveals to actual reveals, and let people know that there is this change coming in our world, that the restored republic is indeed going to be happening. Now, as I said, whenever I get the Four of Swords in a political read, it for me has come to mean that there's more going on than the universe is going to disclose in this read. So it may be a topic we'll want to revisit later or what have you, but there's enough information to proceed always. There's just a little that is not ready to be shared with us. Okay, it can also indicate sometimes that you have a short wait before some reveals make, so those kind of work together very well. The current situation, we got the High Priestess. Now, she shows up when there is background information that is going to be revealed shortly, things that could be discerned now if you just looked beyond this very, very thin veil, and that works well with this. It also works well with the thought that alt media has been reporting on this situation and numerous places. So I like that these two are working together like that. In the near future, we got the Four of Pentacles. This card just talks about being careful with your resources. And yeah, they're moving ahead with it. They're doing it. We're in the soft reveal stage with Trump making these visits to Greenland and making those tweets about Canada being the 51st state. We're kind of getting people used to the idea, going from, like I said, wait, you're serious? If it's a new concept for them. Okay. Now there are, as this change unfolds, there are going to be, again, some departures, people that are just not going to be necessary. I think ultimately this is going to be something that, even though the square mileage of the republic is going to increase, the government and leadership that we have is going to decrease. So I think there's going to be some going away. And then there's a lot of hard work that's gone into this. It's been a well thought out change and progression. Started with the bankruptcy of the Corporation of the United States, and then the Republic being formed in the aftermath of that. Now, we had a couple of eights. Those work together well too in a tarot read. When you see those, and again, it kind of jives with everything I've said so far. Two eights represent a drive to make the transition or change seamlessly, well balanced, and move forward without a hitch. So again, a lot of hard work's gone into it, and with an eye to having things evolve in a very organic way that is good for humanity. Let's get a few more cards and see what the universe wanted us to know. Again, more reassurance that these changes that are coming, but they're good for us. We have the Six of Cups. We have the Five of Pentacles. We have the Two of Swords and another two with the Two of Cups. So let's look again, the Six of Cups talks about our little ones, and talks again, it often talks about a reunion or a reconciliation. So there is going to be reconciling, I think, of accounts with the money. So I do take it as that comment that Turbo Truth said, that it was all about restitution. Yeah, I see that happening right here with this. Now let's look here. Our final two cards had a couple of twos. So we had a multiple here. And these often indicate multiple twos, indicate that there is some cooperative teamwork going on. Again, makes sense. Hard work, teamwork, and a slight waiting period is indicated with the Two of Swords usually. And that means that, yeah, and that jives with this, because this means that there is some reveals that are not quite ready to come out. But again, if you're willing to go beyond the mainstream, you can find that information, and it's going to be mainstream news at some point, and it's just not yet. And again, partnership, hard work, and change that is going to be very, very beneficial and celebrated, and that honors human life. So there's no fiction about it. It's fact. I don't claim to have insights from the universe that tell me all of the minutia about those changes, whether there's 83 states or what the kingdoms that are coming or anything, but we do have a republic that's going to have expanded territories, and it's going to be beneficial for the residents of all those areas. Let's recap. President-elect Donald J. Trump is wasting no time to stir some political waters, and he's been a busy boy. He's been to Greenland in the last 24 hours. He's made a couple of tweets that Trudeau didn't like about Canada being the 51st state. He referred to Trudeau as Governor Trudeau, and he's talked about the Panama Canal needing to maybe be under, our wing again. There's lots of information coming out. Now, in the alt media community, there's been talk for years that with the bankruptcy of the United States Corporation in 2018, that was when the republic, the restored republic of our country, kind of had its birth. And that when that republic is publicly acknowledged at all levels and layers of our world, we're going to have expanded territories within the United States. So yeah, Greenland will be part of it. So would Canada. I've heard other places. I didn't ask specifically about that. I just said, can we anticipate in this lifetime, this current lifetime, living in the Constitutional Republic of America? And we got definitely a yes. We we will, and we're going to be very, very pleased with it in a nutshell. Now, the information I was asking about, not quite universally public yet, but it's no longer private. It's available to us to find out if you're willing to go beyond the mainstream. You can read about this. It's been chattered about for years, and we're in the soft reveal stage. So the normies are kind of getting used to the idea that, he's serious about this? He's serious about this? Yeah, because it's time to have it go from being in the background to public reality and what we live with. The universe did say that there's a little more information that is not being shared at this time. So I can't say that I will never revisit this topic. We'll see what happens. Again, maybe later on we'll want to have more information about what those included regions would be for the different, areas. We'll find out as we go. We had some multiples that showed up. We had two eights that showed up that talk about working closely together, and a desire to get things right. That was also bolstered with a couple of twos that showed up, and twos talk about teamwork. And when you have more than one, it's really essential. And just the idea that the changes that are coming have been well thought out. They've been worked out. They've been designed to roll out in such a way that nothing can stop what is coming. Gee, where we heard that before. So that's it for this first portion of the video. As I did say, I wanted to quickly share something afterwards, but if you with some of my regular viewers, and if you'd like to stay for that, you're welcome to. But if you're just here for the political portion of this read, that concludes it. And I thank you so much for your time, attention, and willingness to explore topics with what at some point used to be considered rather unconventional means for information or additional perspectives or insights. And those days are changing, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so if you're willing to receive it, I send you love, light, and I wish for you everything bright. Bye. Now, if you stayed around just out of loyalty or curiosity or boredom, I'm going to take you back to a share screen. Right under the QMOM post that I have another item that I read with a lot of interest. I want to point it out to you and encourage you to read it. And I would love to have some perspective in my YouTube comment section. If you read it, if it resonates with you, if you're good at math, because I have a math question I want to ask, and just something that it really made sense to me. So I'm going to take you to it. Okay, hang on. One more share screen coming up in our life. Okay, right under the QMOM post, I reposted this from W.R. Schrock, QBD, and he goes into detail about how humanity is under hypnosis and how, because of that hypnosis, we literally cannot see things that exist. So we physically don't see reality as it really is, that we're hypnotized. He had a very interesting perspective here that I liked. He talked about how when someone is hypnotized and told that there are no trees in a park, and those trees actually obscure the buildings across the way, when they're brought out of their hypnotic trance and they're firmly believe those trees aren't there, they being the hypnosis subject, can identify colors of the building and numbers on the building and things like that that cannot be seen by the trees that are actually there. So he talked about that. I thought that was really interesting. I've heard something like that before. He talks about where the origins of this hypnotic mode comes from. And he mentioned some other things that what I thought was really, really interesting, that we have to have when we are hypnotized and made to believe that something in our reality is part of our reality. For example, chemtrails. I know he talks about chemtrails as one of the things, two suns as another thing. And I know originally I had to, it was one day I kept hearing about chemtrails and watching for them. And one day I was able to absolutely see what was obviously artificial clouds in the sky, created cloud cover. And then once I did, I saw them everywhere. And as my awareness grew, but it talks about how you have to have proof of an event 6 times. Okay. 6 ways from Sunday, but he actually got into talking about the actual times you need to see something. So I see that with people. I've tried to show chemtrails to some of my neighbors and family members. They don't see them. Here it is, 7 times before your brains will rewire and allow them to see it. So if you've been pointing out chemtrails to people, do it 7 times before you give up. I think that I don't do it 7 times in a row, but don't give up because they need 7 exposures to something before they can rewire their brains. That made sense to me. Now, something else that he talked about was how if you actually figure out the number of seconds that are in a year that we have, that was up here, that we actually have one more day than clocks and calendars say there are. And his hypothesis or belief is that this is when we being humans, are actually reprogrammed, reset, what have you. Okay. So if you're good at math, I tried to do it, and I'm kind of a calculator dunce. I tried to figure out how many seconds are in a year and see if they do really add up to one more day than clocks and calendars say there are. Okay, now remember, we are told that we are getting an average of 6 extra hours per year. That's why we have a leap year every 4 years. So if you can do the math on this and see if there's any validity to that, I'd really appreciate that. But I did come away with, I thought it was very important that 7 times to rewire your brain. And that's good to know. So, and again, we've talked about this, how we did an exploration sometime back about how they're talking about people seeing, having this, they're calling it some sort of a disorder where you see demonic faces. And we've asked in the past, is that part of the fact that our reality is changing and beings that had a false front for us aren't able to maintain as much? And so we've already explored this and got a yes on that in previous videos with me. So if you'd like to read that, I didn't read any of the comments. I simply read the post. Whereas with QMom, I said, hey, read some of the comments. They're great. So I'm not saying that the comments aren't good for that post. I only read the post. It was pretty extensive. And for my brain, it seemed to be a little scientific. Just thought I'd show it to you and ask you guys about it. I know there's times the two suns. Boom. They say after 7 times looking at it, you finally see it. So if you've been pointing out things that we see that seem obvious to us and people don't see them, let's consider the fact that they're still in that programming where they can't, but that doesn't mean they'll stay there. So let's not give up on pointing out things like the second sun and the chemtrails, things like that. And then don't doubt yourself when your eyes open up to something new. I know mine have in a number of cases. There's someone I consider to be a friend here in Maine, and I have seen their eyes do their pupils change from round to horizontal. Doesn't mean they're not still a nice person, but I think way back in the family tree, there may be some other DNA going on in there. And they're still going to be my friend. They've given me no reason not to be. So, anyway, that was my little rabbit trail. I didn't want to do a separate video about that. There's too much going on, but I thought it was interesting. I thought it was encouraging, and I thought it had a perspective that was really, really valuable. Thought I'd share it with you. So now this is it for the entire video, and I thank you for staying till the end. And if you're willing to receive it, I send you love, light, and I wish for you everything bright. Bye.